Hello dear students friends. As we are going in the series of studying different families of angiospermic plant, today we are going to learn one more economically important family, that is Fabaceae. In the beginning we can see these two important plants. Can you identify them? Because this family is the most important economically and from food point of view, the family in the angiospermic plants. Now let us begin to talk about its distribution. This family is said to be very big and it includes about 600 genera and about 1200 species. It is regarded as the second most largest family in the class dicotyledon. If we talk about in our country, we are having about 375 genera and about 754 species. So that way we are having a very big family in our country also. This family is also called as pea family because the dominant plant of this is a pea. If we talk about its systematic position, you can see that it belonging to the kingdom Plantae, Angiospermi, class Dicotyledoni, and all these characters related with that, why it is considered in this particular class and subclass Polypetalae, as we know that petals are free in that series Caliciflori, order Rosalis, and family Fabaceae. If we talk about the vegetative characteristic features of the different types of plants of this family, the plant shows great variation in their habit. There are certain herbs like Melilotus and Medicago and Trifolium, while there are certain plants, there are shrubs like Butia, like Plangia, climbers are there, Lathyrus and Pisum. There are certain tweeners like Vigna, and of course there are trees, like Dalbergia, Sissu, Erythrina, and these are the plants which are having the tree habit. So herbs, shrubs, climbers, tweeners, as well as trees, all different types of habits are seen in this particular. Being a plant of Dicotyledoni, the root is definitely taproot system, but it is highly branched. And the most important feature of this, as you can see friends over here, that they are bearing bacterial nodules. This family is having this characteristic feature that the specific type of bacteria, rhizobia, which are specific for every particular species, they are forming nodules in which they inhabit and help the plants fixing the nitrogen. If we talk about stem, in the most of the members of family, herbaceous to woody, stem may be erect. In the terrestrial form like the shrubs and herbs and trees, of course there are tweener, the stem is branched, angular or cylindrical, solid or fistular. The leaves, another important feature of this particular plant is its leaves. They are said to be colline or ramal. They are alternate, but here you may have a false assumption because it is a compound leaf. It is not a leaf. It is single leaf we talk about in some of the plant where it is a simple and alternate leaves are there present at each one node. They are stipulate, and if they are compound, mostly trifoliate. Okay. In case of Alicicarpus, they are simple, modified partly or wholly into tendrils. As you can see here, that leaflets in this pea plant, they are modified into tendril. For example, in case of Lathyrus, in case of Pisum sativa, then Vicia faba. Then leaf base may be polyvenate, it may be swollen sometime. In Lathyrus aphaca, the entirely becomes modified into tendril. So different types of modifications in case of the leaflets and the leaves, they are seen. In Pisum and Lathyrus, the stipules are foliaceous and highly developed. In Pisum and Vicia, the leaflets are modified into tendril. So these are the different types of modifications seen in this particular family. This is the most important characteristic feature of this family. So the leaves in vegetative character, they are very important to study and to understand. Now if we talk about the reproductive character of this particular family, what we observe? We observe the inflorescence. And inflorescence is racemose, it is raceme. Rarely solitary axillary, single flowers are there, but rarely, mostly it is raceme. Here you can see the flower, very typical flower is seen in this particular family. and so the flower is said to be medianally zygomorphic. Okay, if we cut the flower through a plane passing through its center, then and then it is equally divided into two halves, similar half, and therefore it is said to be zygomorphic. Okay, then it is a bisexual flower that we called as hermaphrodite. Then it is said to be pedicellate. Yeah, it is having a small pedicel. Here these are the two more diagram. You can see here this is a small pedicel. So pedicellate, slightly perigynous. So you have to understand perigynous means the thalamus is shallow cup shaped, and gynoecium or ovary is being surrounded by all other floral part. That condition is called as perigynous, but it's slightly perigynous. The flower is said to be complete because all the floral whorls are present, pentamerous. Then papilionaceous corolla is present. This is a very typical type of corolla as we have studied in morphology, papilionaceous corolla. And if you talk about the floral characters along this family, this uniformity, particularly this is very big structure. You can see a single big petal that we call standard. Then the two lateral petals, they are called as wings, and the two very smaller, they are called as keel. So this is the posterior bigger, in which all these two and remaining they are being covered. So very typical type of flower is another important feature of this family, Fabaceae. So if we talk about calyx, 5 sepals are there. The sepals are fused, and odd sepal is anterior. I will explain you later. Then sepaloid, they are of course green in color. Then imbricate, it is a kind of estivation, imbricate, where you know that one sepal is completely inner, one sepal is completely outer, and the other remaining 3 are inner and outer. The corolla is very typical in this family, where we see 5 petals and petals are free, so polypetalous, and therefore it is belonging to polypetalae. Then papilionaceous corolla, posterior petal, this is we called as outermost, it is a large, it is called as vexillum or standard. Okay, and therefore this type of estivation in terms of corolla in case of this family is called as vexillary, because the largest one is vexillum. Then next 2 lateral ones, they are called as wings or ali, and the 2 they are anterior most, but they are fused with each other. The innermost and united, they are boat shaped structure, they are called as keel or carina. And here also you can see the ascending imbricate or vexillary type of estivation is there, where the outermost petal is this standard, then inside that these 2 are there, and inside them they are the 2, and they are very typical type of corolla that we call papilionaceous corolla, where the 5 petals are there, only 2 are attached with each other. These all are free and vexillary estivation. Then if we talk about androecium and gynoecium essential whorl, they are also showing very typical characteristic. So in all, if we talk about Fabaceae, all the floral characters are very typical of that, and therefore if you explain these, definitely we will understand that how important this family is. If we see androecium, the 10 stamens are there, but what we see, the diadelphous condition, where the filaments of the stamen fuse to form each other, forming the 2 different tubes, but anthers are free. This condition is called adelphy, and when the 2 separate tubes are formed, it is called as diadelphy. Okay, very rarely in case of Crotalaria it's a monoadelphous, but what we see, the posterior stamen is free, and the filaments of 9, the 9 stamens, they are fused to form a sheath or bundle, okay, around the ovary. In Arachis, 10 stamens are monoadelphous, and in Sophora all 10 stamens are free. So this is very exceptionally occurring in that particular members of the family, and therefore it is mentioned here. Gynoecium is also typical. This is a monocarpellary. You can see from here to here it is ovary, this is style, and this is the stigma. So what you see regarding gynoecium, it is a monocarpellary, ovary superior, unilocular with the marginal placentation. Yeah, it is another important feature of this family. Okay, numerous ovules on a ventral suture. Style is slightly bent, and at the apex, the flattened and hairy, or sometimes without hair, the stigma is present. It is very simple. It may be capitate in case of mucina. So depend upon the different types of plants. But this is very typical. Ovary, that's what another important feature of this family. Then let me go further. Regarding the fruit is said to be legume or pod. In case of Dalbergia sissu, it is indehiscent. In case of Alicicarpus, it is lomentum. The seeds are said to be non-endospermic. You know that the seeds of pea and Cajanus cajan and Arachis hypogea, they are non-endospermic. The two big cotyledons are there. Endosperm is not present at maturity. Being a beautiful flowers, the pollination is mostly entomophilous with the help of insects, and you can observe the floral formula. Here this sign indicates that they are zygomorphic, bisexual, corolla, calyx consisting 5 sepal, and this bracket indicate that sepals are fused with each other. Corolla shows 5 petals, 1 plus 2 plus 2, 1 is standard, 2 wings and 2 keels, but the keels are adhere to each other, so this fuse with each other. Androecium 9 plus 1 condition, where the 9 stamen fuse to form, of course, their filament fuse to form single bundle. 1 stamen remain free is called as diadelphous condition. Or sometime 10 androecium, 10 stamens are fused with each other, forming a single bundle. Gynoecium is monocarpary, ovary superior. This is the floral formula. And if you observe, this is a pod. You can see here, these are the seeds inside that. They are attached with the ventral suture over here. This is a very typical legume type of fruit. This is the typical floral diagram, friends. Don't forget to practice the diagram because they are connected with that. These are the sepals which are usually in imbricate condition. They are fused with each other. Then this is a corolla, where this is a big very big standard over here. These are the 2 lateral wings and these are the 2 keels. Then these are the 9 stamen attached with each other, forming a single bundle. 1 is free. Monocarpellary carpus with ovary with the marginal placentation. So this is a typical floral diagram of the family Fabaceae. Now if we talk about the another aspect, that's economic importance of this family, is very important to understand, so that we'll realize that how it is important to study the plants of this family. This family is having many plants which are providing the food, oil, medicine, fibers and so many things. If we talk about the food, Cajanus cajan, तुअर, then Pisum sativa, मटर, Cicer arientum, चना जिसको हम कहते हैं, Vigna एकोनिटिफोलियस मोठ जिसको कहते हैं, फैसिउलस रेडिएटस मूंग, फैसिउलस मूंगो, उड़द, लेंस एस्कुलेंटस मसूर की दाल, ग्लाइसिन मैक्स, सोयाबीन. These are definitely the pulses. They are protein yielding foodstuffs, which becomes one of the important part of our diet. Soybean is supposed to contain very high percentage of protein compared to meat. Arachis hypogea जिसको हम सिंगदाना कहते हैं, मूंगफली कहते हैं, it is a rich source of oil and we are using this oil as a, even on hydrogenation it is also forming vegetable ghee that we call margarine. The oil cake is used for the cattle feeding. Moongfali is also eaten as a raw roasting. If we talk about medicinal importance of this, then Glyceriza glabra mulathi जिसको हम कहते हैं, that is having very important. It is used as the throat pain and cough. Then Abrus precatorius Ratti in Hindi or Gunj in Marathi, which is also said to having a lot of economical importance, and different types of plants are there used as a laxative. Here you can see Sorolia, Tetragonolia, they are the laxative, help to emptying the bowel. Juice of Sesbania is improve the eyesight. Then fiber yielding plants are there like Crotalaria juncea, sun hemp that we call. Then timber, Dalbergia sisum जिसको कहते हैं, one of the most economically important tree. Then latifolia, Indian rosewood, they yield timber. Indigofera tinctoria जिसको हम नील कहते हैं, it belonging to this particular family. Then there are many ornamental and miscellaneous plants like Lathyrus, Odoratus, Clitoria, Sesbania, Lupinus, Erythrina, Indian coral tree what we call. So there are many other plants which are having a lot of ornamental values also, and therefore they are grown in the gardens and so. So in all, from morphological point of view, my interest is to show you that what are the primitive characters and advanced characters seen in this plant. If you see, the leaves are alternate, stipulate and simple in some species like indigo flora. This is a primitive character. Then there are certain plants where Pisum lathyrus leaves compound, and in many genera leaflets are modified to tendril. So this is advanced character. So in a few of them they shows primitive, some them. Then flowers are hermaphrodite, bisexual, large and showy. Flowers are zygomorphic. They are becoming slowly and gradually zygomorphic. This is advanced character. Corolla polypetalous is a primitive character. Then corolla becomes papilionaceous, it's advanced character. Androecium polyandrous in Ormosia, Baphia and Sophoras. These are the three plants belonging to the family Fabaceae, but latter advanced member shows stamens diadelphous. Then Gynoecium is monocarpellary, fruits are simple, legume, ovule, compylotropous. Yeah, this is also another important feature of this particular family. It is not anatropous, it's slightly inverted, and then seed become non-endospermic. So these are some primitive and advanced character. If you study this particular family and a question being asked, it could be asked like that. You have to describe the general account of the family Fabaceae and then describe the structure of flower of the family. It's very typical. Economically important plants, that what we have to write in economic significance of this family, and give systematic position of the family with the reasons why it belonging to the Polypetalae and Roselles order, like that. We have to add the characters on that, okay? And the distribution of family of this family Fabaceae in India particularly, we have to also make the notes on it, okay? So friends, if in all we talk about 5 families, out of that the Fabaceae is said to be the most important family. In fact, all the families are important and the plants are important environmentally, but when we talk about from human point of view, its economic importance, we discuss the family, and it's a very big family. As I told you, it's the second most biggest family in the class Dicotyledon, and therefore it is relevant to understand all these things, okay? So this is all about this family Fabaceae. A general question is being asked in your examination. I'm sure that you will understand all the aspect. If you don't understand, you please comment, ask the question on my YouTube channel. All these videos are available for you to watch anytime. If you're having any difficulty or a doubt, you can put up your doubt, comment over there. You can suggest me to prepare some special videos explaining some of the important aspect of this family in special. I will prepare for you. But if you like this channel, then you click the button like, but you please subscribe this channel so that you will get the notifications time to time that what new materials I have added, because it is not merely the family Fabaceae or this unit. Friends, try to understand in overall your whole course of the first year, second year, third year, you will get now this types of videos explaining you everything in much more detail, okay? So you don't have to remain only on the classroom. Of course, classroom teaching is very important where we can have the conversation, but beyond that, if you need to revise the matter again and again, these videos are very helpful. So I conclude with this note that in this vacation you are definitely enjoying learning this way. You can read it and you can also comment on that, and please give me feedback. With this I conclude. Thank you very much for today. Good day.